Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Power Up with Elin. In this episode, I want to talk about P.R.E.T.T.I thinking, architecting 2039 with this framework. What the heck is P.R.E.T.T.I thinking? Okay, story time. I created P.R.E.T.T.I as a framework that I used for myself. The reason why I created this framework is because I struggled during interviews. I could not articulate my strengths, but I was sure as heck great at articulating my weaknesses. And because of this struggle, I created this framework that would help me market my skills. What does P.R.E.T.I stand for? P.R.E.T.I stands for P for problem solving, R for resourcefulness, E for efficient, effective, and expressive communication. T is for tactical agility. T is for time zoning. I is for innovative influence. How is that going to help you in an interview? Well, it's very simple. These are 6 core skills that are super important for a person to have, not only in their work life, but in their personal life. Why do I bring this to the table? Well, I think that it is time for me to share it with the world. As we are architecting 2039 in this world of AI, it is really important for us to have a strategic focus as we look into the future. See, most professionals focus on next week, next quarter, next year. But imagine right now, it's 2039. What decisions did you make today that truly mattered? You see, every email, every meeting, every decision you make today is a deposit into the future that you're building. Every process we design now sets the blueprint for how teams work in 2039. Every investment in AI and human intelligence today determines if organizations will still be relevant in 2039. Every cultural decision that we make today shapes whether or not leadership in 2039 is reactive or it's visionary. And that's where the P.R.E.T.I framework becomes more than just a framework and now becomes a lens into the future. I will teach you. Let's take P for problem solving. Tracking challenges and tackling them with a root cause mindset. What does that mean? Figuring out what the root problem is versus putting a band-aid on the challenge or problem. It is going back and creating a system that makes sure that whatever problem you're solving does not happen again. Let's look at R for resourcefulness. It's building sustainable systems and utilizing resources strategically and creatively. It's looking at what resources you have today and how you create a system of sustainability with current resources, current constraints. Let's look at E for effective, efficient, and expressive communication. Communication is such an important skill. Effective communication, it's really focusing on clarity. Efficient communication is focusing on speed. And expressive communication focuses on connectivity, bringing creativity, clarity, speed, and influence to deliver a message without noise. Then we look at the letter T for tactical agility, and that is moving with precision and long-term vision. What does that mean? Focusing on the tasks centered on doing. And agility is nimbleness, is flexibility, is adaptability. How are you bringing nimbleness and precision into your work? As you know, with this ever-changing technology system and the incorporation of AI, we have to be much more agile in the way we approach work. The last T is time zoning, and time zoning is the structuring of energy, time, focus, while scaling impact. When you pass by a construction site, there's typically these orange cones. Those orange cones are there for boundaries to guard and protect the work area to ensure that no outside forces come in to disrupt the work. It's completely different than time management because time management comes from a place of reactivity. Time zoning is much more proactive, it's organized, and it's centered on goals, intentionality, and purpose. It's built to align your work, your goals, and your priorities when you're most creative. So the last letter in P.R.E.T.I is the letter I, and that stands for innovative influence. That is inspiring buy-in for futures that are not yet visible. Think about it as sowing seed. It's learning how to influence and be persuasive without being pushy and aggressive. It's planting and sowing that seed that will later germinate, but it requires patience and inspiration. P.R.E.T.I becomes a strategic tool for you to start thinking about future challenges, bringing in solutions. Because value today is not measured in the tasks that are completed. It's measured in the future we are bold enough to architect. So ask yourself today, am I just solving problems for 2025, or am I strategically shaping a 2039 that will thank me for the strategic foresight today? And so I leave you with that thought. I would love to hear your comments, your questions, your insights. I will talk to you later. Take care.